okay, I got this, I got this, I got this, yes, I got this, I got this, I got this, oh,
What is up, my friends? Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Glad to have you guys all here. I know some people are like, Candace, why'd you change your intro? You know, you used to do the welcome thing. I'm like, I just grew out of it, so I'm sorry, but I'm just very happy to have you guys here either way. But in today's video, I'm just going to be going over this past trading week and do a really quick little forecasting, preparing for the week ahead. I am definitely looking forward to this week ahead now that we're pretty much mid-January, which is crazy. You know, time is really passing by quickly. But I'm very happy that now the markets, you can really see everything picking up. You know, everyone's kind of back to trading. So it's a very exciting time, and I feel like there are going to be a lot of opportunities this coming week. So I'm just excited to prepare for it and just take those opportunities when I see them. And as always, as a disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, the way I analyze the charts, the way I approach the markets, my thought process, it's all from my point of view. The way I trade is all just from me, my opinion. So to each their own, you know, some people might agree or disagree with the way I trade. It is what it is, you know what I mean? We're all gonna trade differently. I'm not a teacher, I'm not a mentor, I'm not teaching you anything in this video. I'm just simply reviewing my trades and recording it and showing you guys. So yeah, we're all students of the market. So if you enjoy these type of videos where I just sit down and analyze the charts and review my trades, let me know by smashing that like button. And while you're down there, you might as well subscribe, stay a while, hang out with your girl, you know, hang out. I try to get pretty for you guys. Okay, this is as good as it gets, I'm sorry. But that being said, let us get into this video. Alrighty, so we have the beautiful GBPJPY here. I'm just on the 1 hour time frame just to kind of show you guys more detail. I took 6 trades in total this week, and that gave me a gain of about 58 pips overall. And you might think, you know, Candace, 58 pips is not that much. And to be honest, it really is subjective, because if you're stacking trades, if you're scaling out, that adds up very quickly. You know, the money adds up, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So it really depends on, obviously, your lot size, pips, etc. But for me, 58 pips is a really solid amount, and it was a profitable week. It wasn't a losing week, so we can't be mad, especially since this was my first week back on the charts officially. So if you watched my last video when I did my forecasting for this past week, now price is around this area here. So I wanted to see what price was going to do, if it was going to kind of sustain this area and push down, or if we were going to continue pushing up. And as you can see, price did make some beautiful higher lows, higher highs, just up to this level here. So I'm in this first trade I took, and I'm gonna use my calendar because my memory is very bad. I'm gonna drop down to the 15-minute real quick. So I took this trade on, technically it was Wednesday, I guess you could say, the 12th. And it was London session when I took this trade. And essentially I was just continuing to see if higher lows, higher highs would be occurring. So I'll show you like the before. So this is what price looked like before I took the trade. So I was just wanting to follow that, that continuation pattern. Basically, price had already made its higher low, and I was just wanting to go with the momentum to the high. Mind you, obviously in hindsight, and this is why it's so good, guys, to review your trades, winners or losers. I see that in hindsight that we were at a level here that, you know, could easily just be a resistance area. And so, you know, that was something that either I overlooked or I kind of was just like, I ignored. And we can't ignore these things, these micro things on the market. It all adds up, it's all important. So what happened was, this was the after, price did reject. And with my stop loss, you know, it's 20 pips right now as I currently like it. You know, price hit my stop loss pretty quickly. But yeah, you can clearly see that, you know, there was this zone here and price just wasn't ready to break it. So I'm very glad that I was able to, you know, take this before and after screenshot, because it shows me so clearly what I did wrong. What I should have waited for was just a break and a close above this area, and then, you know, that continuation to the upside. But either way, don't know if my take profit would have been hit, just because we have this very strong supply level. So definitely, and obviously as we can see what happened, price did push down. So in this case, I would have had to have managed my trade. Even if I, got a better entry, I would have had to have, placed my stop loss into profits, and, my take profit would have been hit in profits, or sorry, my stop loss would have been hit in profits. So yeah, just, seeing what I could have done better. But that being said, that was the only trade I took during that time. And then, so London session, and then I waited for New York, or obviously I was sleeping. I waited for New York, and once I saw this setup here, I knew it was clear rejection. I just waited for, these candles to form just to confirm that we were rejecting this area and we were not going to be breaking above it just yet. And nicely, it was just nice, like, structure, to be honest with you. Very simple trade. So I got in pretty much right at 9 a.m. and price just pushed down very smoothly. So I can show you the before of this. This is where I got in, and the after. Very nice and just pretty, I just love these pretty trades. Very simple, double top, we have the exhaustion, we have the candlesticks showing rejection, we have huge upper like wicks, just very simple. And then we have that bearish candle that printed, so I just followed that to the downside. So yeah, gained 40 pips from that, and that had me in profits from the beginning of the week. So that was from the Wednesday. Mind you, I did not trade Monday or Tuesday, which I was proud of myself, to be honest. I was proud of myself. I just wanted to wait and see, for a good setup. And then this trade would have been the 13th, which was the Thursday. And so once pretty much it was confirmed that we were going down, mind you, my bias was that we were going to be bearish this week, but obviously, as you can see, price had to push up a bit more before it wanted to push down, which makes sense. It needed to get to this liquidity area. It wanted to get to this level to push down, get the best price point to sell. So yeah, as you can see, we did push to the downside. I'm very happy that I just kind of waited this out. I didn't want to re-enter the market when this was happening. I could have easily entered a sell here. Like the old Candace would have definitely just entered a sell here, just because I said, oh, we're just rejecting here. Maybe we're creating like some sort of, channel to the downside. And then, we're gonna go down like this, make that channel, and then push down. But I just simply waited. And as you can see, price did push a bit further up, and then it ended up plummeting down. Once I saw this level, these levels being broken, I entered a sell, and that was New York session that I entered this trade. And yeah, I just let it play out. It did pull back a little bit, but thankfully did not hit my stop loss. I kept my stop loss tight and I kept it in check, and it ended up doing what it needed to do. And I got 48 pips on that. So I did scale out a little bit. I did kind of hold the trade further than the 40 pips that I usually like to gain. Really just the reason being, I saw the opportunity. I was already in profit for the week, so I felt more confident to, hold the trade a little bit longer, until to the point where I looked left and I saw that we were at this area that, there was a chance that price could reverse. So I just took my profit and left and kept it moving. Next trade really quickly here. This would have been on the 14th, which is the Friday. So I did take 3 trades on the Friday, which I'm not happy with myself with. I want to stick to 1 to 2 setups per day, max. And I took 3, so I'm not happy about that. And I'll admit that this area was very, this trade was me being confused. It was me being confused because at first, we're at this level, and in my head, I was like, okay, well, this trade here that I took earlier, we went up to this, liquidity point, and then we pushed down. So I'm assuming, okay, this is another liquidity area. We're going to just push up when we get here, right? Well, that was initially my thought process, but as you can see, price started to range. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, damn, like what's happening? Maybe it actually is gonna break to the downside. So I second guessed myself and I exited the trade. And what did I do, guys? I entered a short like right after. So that was stupid of me. I lost both trades. So, good thing is this one, I just closed out really quickly. But this one, I lost the full, oops. This one I lost the full 20 pips on. Stop loss was hit. I think my mindset with this was like, okay, if it's a loser, it's a loser, but I just need to be okay with letting it hit my stop loss. and not, moving it or anything like that, because I felt like if I had exited quickly, then I would have entered like a buy again or something like that. It would have been ping pong, and I hate that. I hate when I'm confused and I feel like I still need to trade. If you are confused, in my opinion, you should not be trading. Just give it a break, close the charts, go do something with your day. So in this case, my stop loss was hit. So yeah, so I admit that this was a trade that should have been avoided overall, because really price wasn't doing much. It was consolidating. It was the end of the week. The 14th was the Friday. So that should have been an indication for me just to keep it moving. But it is what it is. We managed our risk and we got out with, low risk. We're still in profits for the week. And then this last trade was during New York session. It was an impulse trade, I will admit. Again, not happy with this trade. Even though it was a winner, I'm not happy with this trade overall. I'll show you the before. So price was pushing down, mind you. So I had my 1 to 2 risk reward, 20 pip stop loss, 40 pip take profit. So price was pushing down. It was looking good, whatever. I got a bit too confident in this case. Not even confident, I would say I got a bit greedy. I'll admit, excuse me. I think I got a bit greedy in this case, and I wanted to hold the trade out. So what I did was that, and if I didn't do that, my take profit would have been hit so easily. My take profit would have been hit so easily, because it was at 155.622 and price definitely came down to that area. It went further. But me, instead, what I did was I held the trade, and then it started reversing, and I'm like, oh crap, like, at this point it's almost like, it's like 3 p.m. on a Friday. I'm like, the market's gonna close. I don't want to hold this trade over the weekend. And yeah, so I ended up closing with much smaller profit than I should have. So yeah, very much a learning lesson. This week overall, like I said, still in profits. It was a profitable week, but a lot of things I could still work on in terms of just, no fear of missing out. I need to avoid that, and just realizing and remembering that my take profit is just as important as my stop loss. Keeping my take profit where it is initially is just as important. Don't get greedy. Take what the market gives you and get out, keep it moving. So definitely gonna take these things with me into the new week. So hopefully that wasn't too long of a trade review, but I'm just going to remove all these drawings and we're gonna quickly just go over the market and see, what we can look for and prepare for this week ahead. So let's go to I'm just gonna go to the weekly because I wanna see how the weekly closed very beautifully. We definitely see that price closed rejecting this area here. I remember last week I wanted to see if what we were going to do here, if we were going to continue pushing up or what was going to happen, or if we're going to reject, and rightfully so, price did reject. So that's pretty cool to see that price did that very cleanly. Looks like a double top in my opinion. So we'll see if we're going to get that continuation to the downside this coming week. Let's go to the daily here. Again, just very clear structures we can see. A lot of people, I know some people trade, double tops, double bottoms, like rejections of zones. So this might be something that you are looking to see if it's gonna continue this way for this week ahead. This is that ideal setup if you are like a trader that does that trades double tops and double bottoms and whatnot. For me, this Friday, this last candle is interesting just because of the size of the bottom wick. It definitely is possible that the next candle can kind of push up first and then push down to fill this wick. Or it could be an indication that, the bulls are kind of gaining back momentum and they want to drive price back up maybe to this area before pushing back down. So these are the things I take into consideration, just like the wick size especially, because if you look at this wick, this top wick here, it's like it was a small, push up and then a push down, but this was a big push up. Like this was a big recovery, and the size of the candlestick itself, or like the body of the candlestick, is smaller than the size of the bottom wick. So just stuff like that I personally keep in mind. Going down to the H4 here, we see that there is this level here that price is currently at right now. So wanting to see if we're going to continue holding this as a resistance area, as a resistance zone, where price has broken it, as we can see. It's closed below it, it's pulled back, and this is on the H4 time frame. So definitely, you know, stronger confluence. Definitely want to see if, you know, we're going to continue to the, oops, why do I always do this? Definitely want to see if we're going to continue to the downside, pretty much continuing this lower high, lower low structure that's been forming. But we'll see. There is a chance that price can kind of break above. But for me, what I'd be waiting for on the H4 time frame is a bearish candle close of some sort. And then to see if, you know, they're going down to the lower time frame, see if there's a good entry for sells. Let's go down to the H1 here. As you can see on the H1, it actually did print that bearish candlestick, but for me, I need to see more confirmation. This is not a good enough candlestick for me to confirm that, oh yeah, we're going down. Mind you, you know, price, the market can open and, you know, there could be a gap to the downside. We can continue down really quickly, but I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna trade Sunday night, Monday. I'm just gonna wait and see the market, what it does, how it sets up. And, you know, if we end up getting back into this area here, I want to see if we're going to come back to this level. So for me, I'd be looking for buys to this level here if we end up closing above this area. But if we don't, if we're continuing down, I just want to see some more bearish candlesticks being printed just to confirm, especially on the lower time frames, that, you know, we want to go down. So let me erase these crazy drawings that I just made and go down to the 30-minute. Pretty much the same stuff. The lower I go, kind of, it's just all the same. Usually the 30-minute is where I like to kind of enter. We see that this last 30 minute was an engulfing candlestick. I noticed that when it comes to like the previous candle closing with no wick, usually it goes the other direction the next time. Like there's been times like that. Obviously it's not 100% accurate, or it doesn't happen 100% of the time, but in this case, as you can see, price, this, you know, previous M30 candlestick had no upper wick pretty much, and then the next candlestick pushed down, but that was obviously the last candlestick for the week. So, you know, a little bit of momentum at the end of the week. Not really saying much at this point, because price can very well go to the upside from here. But yeah, it's just a waiting game at this point. Long story short, like I said, if price starts to kind of come back in this area and it breaks these levels here, then to me, that is a reason for a buy. And these would be my targets. This area would be my target just because this is where price tends to like to come to, especially recently. And it hasn't been able to break this area for a while, for a couple months. So for me, that is good indication that, you know, price wants to come back. It wants to grab that liquidity. However, if price does start to continue breaking to the downside, just kind of creating that lower high, lower low momentum, I wouldn't be scared to take a sell down here, even just to this area here. I want to see actually if I were to like take a sell here, if this is 40 pips. Yeah, like, you know, this is an easy, if I just delete all these things, this is an easy 40 pips. You know, if price closes down this area, in this area, just kind of closing below these candlesticks, then there's a very high chance that price might come back to this level here at least. And that's all you need, to be honest. You don't need to, you know, hold, in my opinion, you don't need to hold a trade for so long. Like if it gives you that amount, just take it, and you can stack trades in the meantime. So it's like the same 40 pips that you are grabbing, it could be a lot more money. Like it could be a lot more in profits just because you are adding positions, you know, and every position you add, you put the previous position at break even or in profits, and you kind of scale out like that. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing, guys, for this week ahead. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I have for this video. Very simple. I'm trying to keep it super simple and straightforward, not overthink things, and just when I see my setup, just take it. If I don't see my setup, keep it moving. Being okay with not taking a trade if it's not there. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful or informative for anybody. If it wasn't, I'm sorry. If you enjoyed this video though, please let me know by smashing that like button. I always appreciate it. And comment down below, let me know what setup you are looking for. How was this past trading week for you? Have you started getting back into trading since it's the new year? Let's just chit chat, talk to your girl. And last but not least, do not forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free, I'm just saying, feel free to check out any of my other videos on this channel and my other channel, Candace B TV, where I vlog. That being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a beautiful, magnificent day, week, and life. Bye.